What is up, everybody? How's everyone doing out there today? Welcome back to Wildcat MTG, and today it's Final Fantasy time. Yet again, we're going to do a collector box battle of Final Fantasy. Most of you are familiar with how this works, but for those of you who are not, how this thing is going to work is we have 4 participants. We're going to open this thing up. Each one of them is going to get 3 packs, and we're going to open those packs in rounds of 3, adding up the mana values for all the rares and all the mythics. And at the end of this thing, the person with the highest total mana value and the person with the lowest total mana value amongst rares and mythics are each going to get 1 additional collector pack from Final Fantasy. In the event of a tie, we will take the highest mana value mythic as the first tiebreaker, the highest mana value rare as the second tiebreaker, and if we need a third tiebreaker, we'll have some sort of jousting contest, perhaps a pie eating contest to determine the winner. Or we will simply go down the line with the highest mana value rare until there is a tie, no more. So here we are. Final Fantasy has been out for a couple weeks, and I was like, okay, like pre-release is one thing, singles prices, okay, sure. But, you know, let's see what happens when the Friday that the product becomes available to the public, you know, comes out and singles start hitting the market. Turns out Final Fantasy is apparently immune to singles flooding the market. I just think that it just feels like that a tremendous amount of people are actually just holding on to it. So we're maybe not seeing, for as much of this product as being opened, probably not seeing as much of the actual single stuff hit the market as we're accustomed to, which is very interesting. Anyways, enough of my diatribe. 3 for Future, 3 for Red Leader, 3 for Terry I, Terry's first battle on the channel, welcome Terry, and then 3 for J&V. So we have 3 wily veterans here and 1 newcomer. Good luck, everybody. Let's have some fun. Future, start us off. Here we go. How about we start with a mythic? How about we start with a Surge Foil Mythic? And these are not easy to come by. Surge Foil Mythics are not easy to come by, and they're holding up incredibly well from a value standpoint at this point. That is a Go-Go Master of Mimicry in the Borderless Surge Foil. That is a 3 for mana value. I will sleeve that up momentarily. And for whatever it's worth, I know the camera doesn't quite do it justice. I've tried to say this over and over again, like the Surge Foil is actually, this is the best version of the Surge Foil treatment that we've seen, in my opinion, in terms of like how shiny it is and how crisp and clean it is, but also how they don't curl. All right, 3. We have an Through the Ages foil, but it is an uncommon, so we do not count that. It is Dovin's Veto. Rare is Jekt. Extended Art. Sin as an extended art. That is a 7 for mana value. Next rare is Fire Crystal. That is a Borderless Fire Crystal, a 4. And a pack foil, the Regalia, as a 4. Borderless foil, Fat Chocobo, Secret Rendezvous with Aerith. And that will do it there. But I feel like overall it's pretty hard to miss with and hard to feel bad getting a Surge Foil Mythic of any type. Okay, mana values. 3, 4, that's 7, 11, 18, 22. Let me run that back. 4 plus 7, it's 11, 15, 19, 22 it is. Solid start there, Future. All right, Red Leader. And we're going to start off with a Borderless Foil Stiltskin Moogle Merchant in that woodblock foil treatment. It is another Through the Ages uncommon Lucas Stadium, also known as Strixhaven Stadium. Xenos, that is a 5/4 mana value. Raban in the Borderless, that is a 2. The Wandering Minstrel, also a 2. And conclude with Lindblum Industrial Regency as the Adventureland, which is a 0 for mana value. So Red Leader, not a ton of spice, but certainly coming out strong for the low. What do we got going on here? We have 1, still 1, 3, 5, is that 10? 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 it is. We have seen lower mana value packs than that, but not many. Like maybe 1 or 2. Like I think the lowest we might have seen was like an 8. Doesn't happen often. Terry. That is a mythic. And it is a borderless foil Nibelheim Aflame. As a 4 for mana value on a borderless foil mythic. That's a solid start. How about another? Oh, it's a myth. Oh boy, that's a mythic off of Through the Ages. It is Nyxbloom Ancient, the Cloud Siege Inn. It is a non-foil, and because the foils can only be found in the collector product, there is a nice premium on the foils. You're basically 50-50 on them, but nevertheless, that is a Cloud Siege Inn. It is a Nyxbloom Ancient. That is a sweet hit and some sweet looking artwork. 7 for mana value as well. How about a third mythic? How about a Yuna Grand Summoner? That is non-foil, but it is the borderless Yuna. Interesting looking commander for sure. Bugenhagen Wise Elder is a 2. And then a borderless Balthier and Fran. And we conclude with a foil, pack foil Kane Traitorous Dragoon. That seemed like a heck of a pack though. Borderless foil, Nibelheim Aflame, about a Nyxbloom Ancient in the Through the Ages, and a borderless Yuna Grand Summoner. Not bad. Not bad. All right, so let's add up some mana values, and this is going to get interesting. 4 plus 7, that's 11, 15, 18, 21, 23, 5, 8, 12, 19, 23 it is. Terry, for the moment, at the very least, that will put you in the high. I feel like Yuna's a pretty sweet hit, but I can't not put the Cloud Siege in there. All right, J and V. All right, Angelo, we got Doggo Token. That is a Surge Foil Rare. Ooh, that's not bad. That is Cecil the Dark Knight. Cecil. What do you guys say? I pivot back and forth because I can go either way with them. Either way, that is a Surge Foil Cecil the Dark Knight. And that is a 1/4 mana value, but I am definitely going to scope out the back of that. And there's the Redeemed Paladin. And again, the foiling on point. Sweet hit there. Also, kind of bearing the lead here, we have Yuriko, the Tiger Shadow, which is Yuffie. And that is a borderless, a foil Through the Ages. Again, pretty nice premium on some of these foil Through the Ages cards. I suspect that this is probably a pretty good one. All right, next up we have Summon Ixion. That is a 3 for mana value. Borderless Darkness Crystal. Meister Seymour. And a Summoner's Grimoire as the rare. All right. Yeah, I'm definitely just for a lot of times I just get the mythics, but Surge Foil plus a Through the Ages Yuriko seems sleeve worthy up front. A lot of this stuff I'll just sleeve before I package up, but all right. So we have ourselves a 1 plus. Gosh, that looks so good. That purple too, man. Oh man. All right. 1. It's a 4, 8, 11, 15, 18. I'm gonna run that back here. That's 3. That's 7, 10. 14, 15, 16, 17, and 18 it is. Okay, so after the first round here, we have Future with a 22. Red Leader in the low with a 10. Terry in the high with a 23, and Jane V trailing with an 18. It's kind of sandwiched in the middle there. Future, we are back to you. Round 2. I got another Surge Foil Rare. Yep, we sure do. That is Jill, Shiva's Dominant, a Surge Foil Rare Jill. After that is an uncommon in the Through the Ages slot. So I will show you the back of Jill, Shiva, Warden of Ice. That's a 3 for mana value. Again, uncommon on the Through the Ages. A little fatal push action there. We've got Balthier and Fran again. This time, that's another borderless treatment. That's a 3. Heidegger Shinra, Executive. That is a 4. Hope Estime, 2. Dion Bahamut's Dominant. And that will largely do it there. Okay, I'm going to sleeve up Jill. Again, Surge Foil Rares. That's our third Surge Foil Rare / Mythic of the box. Already above the curve there. Well above. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 13, 16, 7, 8, 9, 13, 16 it is. Future, that's going to put you at a 38 in total. Red Leader, you're at a 10 right now. Kind of a pretty good head start on the low in comparison to your surrounding competition. Here we go. We're going to start with a borderless foil cipher. That is a 4/4 mana value. Followed by a Yuriko. Sure, the second Yuffie, which is this time is the non-foil. Still a nice pull though. That's a 3. It is a got a mythic back there. Yeah, borderless Cloud. There we go. A set mythic nonetheless. That is borderless Cloud Midgar Mercenary, which definitely is seeing some early play from what I've seen. Wrecking Ball Arm is a 2. A Realm Reborn, which is a 6. This is not a very low pack. And a Joshua Phoenix's Dominant, which is a 3. We'll sleeve up that Cloud momentarily. Nice borderless foil stolen uniform. And that will do it there. All right, well, we got everyone on the board with at least a solid hit, which that always makes me feel a little bit better. All right, so 2, 5, 11, 13, 16, 20, 4, 7, 8, 9, 15, 18, 20 it is. Woo! That puts you at a 30. Terry, back to you. Had a triple mythic pack to start. How will we follow that up? Oh, hey, it's not Surge Foil, but that is a borderless foil Tifa Lockhart, and that is certainly a sought-after card. People are definitely playing and experimenting with it in Standard and in Pioneer, maybe even Modern. But that is a borderless foil Tifa Lockhart. That is a 2. We have a Light Up the Stage. That is an uncommon on the Through the Ages. Venat, which is a 3. Sid, Free Flyer Pilot as a 2. Bannon, the Returner's Leader, as a 2 also. And then a Fire Crystal in the pack foil, which is a 4. Little waste action. Prompto Argentum. Rydia. And that will do it for that pack. I will sleeve up Tifa. Okay. So we have ourselves a 2, 6, 8, 10, 13, 5, 6, 7, 11, 13 it is. And that will put you at a 36. Interestingly, things just got suddenly very, very tight for the high. We have a 38, a 30, and a 36 respectively. All right, Jane V, you're at an 18. Here we go. We start off with a borderless foil Fire Crystal. That is a 4. Uncommon in the Through the Ages slot as the Wall of Omens. A mythic, that is Tidus, Yuna's Guardian, as a 3. Conformer Shuriken, that is a 2. Sin Spira's Punishment, that is a 7 in the borderless. And then a Genova Ancient Calamity pack foil, which is a 4. Ooh, Zidane, borderless foil there. Borderless foil uncommon. Okay, let's sleeve up Tidus. What do we got going on here? 3, 7, 14, 16, 20, 4, 5, 6, 13, 17, 20 it is. Okay, that puts you tied for the high. This is going to be very tight last round, apparently. Future, tied for the high with a 38. Red Leader still somehow in the low despite the 20 with a 30 currently. And then Terry with a 36 right in the hunt for the high. Kind of technically the low as well. And then J and V tied for the high. Here we go. Last round. Good luck, everyone. appears to be wide open for both kind of the high and the low. When you think that these packs kind of range from like the low of 8 mana value to the high of, we've seen upper 20s. I can't remember if we've seen any 30s packs, but certainly upper 20s. I would say this thing is wide open both for high and low. Here we go. Future. You are going to start off with a borderless foil Golbez Crystal Collector. Uncommon. It is an uncommon foil in the Through the Ages, though, as the Fatal Push. That's actually not bad. But we don't count it for mana value. Mythic. Yuna Grand Summoner again, this time as the non-borderless. That is a 4/4 mana value, though. Summon Magus Sisters. That is a 5. Ultimate Magic Meteor. That is a 6. Oh, a Mythic. Sephiroth. Yeah, pack foil Sephiroth. Sephiroth. That is a 3 and pretty sweet pull. Definitely one of those cards that people want to own copies of, if nothing else, because of their relation to the game. Oh, Secret Rendezvous foil with Yuffie. Alright, let me sleeve up our one-winged angel friend here and Yuna, the Grand Summoner. And I think this is going to be pretty interesting. Here we go. 3 plus 4, that's 7. 13. 18. 20, 5, 6, 7, 7 plus 6, 13, plus 4, 17, 20, yeah. That is going to put you at a 58 for the moment future. But some solid pulls in there regardless. All right, Red Leader. You have the low coming into this round by 6 mana value over Terry. You are also only chasing the high by 8. Albeit, Futures 20 does make that a little bit more challenging on the high. Here we go. Is that another? It is another Surge Foil Rare. It is our 3rd Surge Foil Rare, and we had a Surge Foil Mythic in this box. Pretty good. That is Noctis, Prince of Lucius. That is a 4/4 mana value, Surge Foil Rare. Uncommon, this time Strixhaven Stadium in the foil Through the Ages. Blue Mage's Cane as a 3. Eye of Nidhogg, that is a 3. Stiltskin, Moogle Merchant in the extended as a 1. And a Zaz Catsroy as a 4. That actually seemed like a fairly low mana value pack, which is, I think, kind of what you want to be doing at this moment. Well, let's find out. 4, 8, 9, 12, 15. 6, 7, 11, 15 it is. That puts you at a 45. Does put you in the low for the moment. Terry, your status. You are chasing 22 for the high. I think you probably have the tiebreaker with that Nyx Bloom on top, so 22 probably gets you the win. Otherwise, you need to be under 9 or 9 or under for the low. We'll start off with a Genova Ancient Calamity, this time in the borderless foil. That is a 4/4 mana value. Uncommon in the Through the Ages spot is a foil uncommon Deadly Dispute or Barren Rivalry. Rare is Dion, Bahamut's Dominant as a 4. Oh, Lys Hex. Nice. Lys. As a 3. Shadow, Mysterious Assassin. And conclude with a Stiltskin Moogle Merchant. I do believe that's going to probably take you out of both the high and the low. Didn't seem high enough. Didn't seem too much for the low. Let's find out. 4, 5, 6, 7, 11, 15. I'll run that back. 4, 8, 11, 14, 15 it is. That will put you at a 51, which will not be good enough for either of those today, but some solid pulls there. All right, Jane V, here's the deal. No idea on the tiebreaker. You're chasing 20 for the high. Otherwise, you would need to be below 7 for the low, which seems less likely. 21 for the high to win outright. Start off with Tella, the Great Sage, and the borderless foil. That is a 5. Uncommon Brainstorm, though. That's kind of cool. Through the Ages Uncommon and Walker, which is otherwise known as Brainstorm, does not count. The Falcon Airship Restore, that is a 3. Protection Magic, a 2. Falcon Airship Restored in the same pack because why not? That is a 3. And then conclude with Hope, which I think is probably going to leave you a little hopeless for the high at this moment. Terrible puns aside. Oh, Opera Love Song. I actually do like that card. Here we go. 2, 5, 7, 10, 15. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 13, 15. It is. That puts you at a 53, which also will not be enough for the high nor the low today. So final standings. Future in the high with a 58. Red Leader, despite giving himself a scare with the 20 mana value pack in the second pack, does finish with the low with a 45. Terry with a 51 and Jane V with a 53. Red Leader, you have the low, you have the honors. Here we go. You're going to start off with a borderless foil Summon Leviathan. And actually, it might be the first time I've seen that foil treatment, the borderless foil treatment for that. That's cool. It is a Search for the Frozen Esper in the Through the Ages, which is an uncommon. A Mythic Tifa Martial Artist. That is not a bad hit. Ultimate Meteor Magic. Sin Unending Cataclysm. And a Ishgard the Holy Sea as the pack foil. Oh, Search Foil Vanille. Actually, not bad. Not bad at all. Future, you had the high. And it was close. Yeah, you and Jane V in that last round. You managed to hold on for your spoils. Here you go. You're going to start off, Gilgamesh. Neat. Borderless foil Gilgamesh, Master at Arms. And I played against this card in draft the other night, and it absolutely wrecked me. That is pretty sweet. That is a borderless, a showcase foil Through the Ages, Cecil Harvey, which is Tiana. And the foiling on that looks really, really good. Next up, Dion. We've seen a lot of Dion today. Wrecking Ball Arm. Realm Reborn. And concluding with Excalibur #2 as the pack foil. And our uncommons and commons after that. All right. Solid box. Solid box. Not spectacular, not the craziest box we've seen, but I think it's better than a couple of the other boxes. Certainly better than I think mine. That's going to do it for me today. I hope you guys enjoyed the video, though. And if you did, do me a favor. If you're not subscribed already, hit the subscribe button for me. Hit the like button for me. By all means, drop me some comments. Appreciate each and every one of you. Thanks so much, everybody, and be well.